Hi guys, it's Red here, and today we're talking about the view range and the camo on the advanced level. If you don't know the basics yet or don't remember it well, check out the previous video. This video will consist of two major parts. The first part will be in a similar lecture style as the previous video, and the second part will be finally more dynamic. We will get into some action in the training room. This time we're going to talk about how to improve your view range, how to improve your camo, and how to use bushes. First of all, there are 2 points of the tank that check the presence of the enemies. They are called the viewports. One is located on the very top of the turret, the second one rests at the gun mantlet. Each of the points emits spotting rays in all directions from the point. The further the enemy tank is, the greater the delay between the spotting rays is, meaning that on a large distance there can be a spotting lag. Luckily, in one of the last patches it was greatly reduced. It's merely a fraction of a second now. Secondly, there are 7 points on every tank which are spotting markers. In order to spot the tank, any of these points must be spotted by the spotting rays and the view range has to beat camo. Note that there are 2 points on the gun mantlet. One of the points travels with the gun as you turn your turret, the other one stays there. Not every piece of the tank being seen means that the tank will be spotted. For example, a little piece of your track or your gun sticking out from cover will not get you spotted. If all 7 spotting markers are hidden, you can't be spotted. Important note, if the enemy tank is 50 meters or less from you, you will be spotted and so will be your enemy, even behind the bush or even behind the corner or a small building, without the direct vision of each other. A little cybersport life hack. The tanks with oscillating turrets like T-57 Heavy or French autoloaders can raise their gun all the way up to raise the spotting point. This will enable you to spot the enemies with sticking out lesser part of your tank. Also, bear in mind, your hull sticking out from cover does not spot the enemies. Make sure you stick out one of these spotting points when trying to spot someone from the cover. As we have covered in the previous video, if you haven't seen that, now it's the right time to do that. The whole spotting process consists of view range of one tank outweighing the camo of the other tank. And this time we will talk about how can we improve our camo and view range. First of all, let's cover view range. The commander is responsible for the view range, and if he isn't 100% trained, your view range will be reduced. Now, the simplest way to improve view range with 100% commander is to install coated optics. It gives you constant 10% boost to the view range. The second simple way to do that is to use binoculars. They add 25% view range, but only after you stand still for 3 seconds or more. If you move, you lose the 25% bonus. This 25% boost is not combined with the optics boost. If you carry both, then optics is used on the move, binoculars when you stay still for 3 seconds or more. Apart from those, crew perks can also improve view range. The commander's recon adds 2% to the view range. The radio man's situational awareness adds 3%. Note that if you don't have a radio man, then some other crew member is playing a role of a radio man. Most often it's a loader or a commander. Then you can train the situational awareness at those crew members. Ventilation adds 2.5% to the view range, another 2.5% comes from the Brotherhood of Steel, and food adds 5% to the view range. After simple computations, we see that the most boost you can get on the move with optics is roughly 27% from the initial view range, and 44% with binoculars. Important note, all view range boosters add some percent to the view range, which means that the greater your base view range is, the more meters of view range will be added after boosting it. Now let's get to the camo boosters. First comes the camo paint. Depending on the class of the vehicle, it gives different bonuses. You can see these bonuses in the exterior management screen. Note that camo paint bonus is a term, not a multiple. Regardless of your base camo, the bonus camo will be the same for the same tank. Make sure to paint your tank for all 3 types of maps, otherwise you will have camo paint on certain maps, on others you won't. This feature is especially important for the light tanks and tank destroyers, also recommended for mediums. Another constant bonus way to improve your camo is to use camo net. You get 5% bonus for heavies and arties, 10% for lights and mediums, and 15% for tank destroyers. Note that the Camo net is activated only after 3 seconds of standing still, just like the binoculars. Recommended primarily for tank destroyers. And finally we get to the Camo cruise kill. The maximum bonus of the Camo cruise kill is 80% to the current Camo of the tank. It almost doubles the base Camo. In order to achieve that, you need to have Camo cruise kill trained on all crew members to 100%. If it's not, then you need to calculate the average value for the Camo cruise kills among all crew members of the team. Missing cruise kill as some crew member means 0. And then multiply that by 0.8 to calculate your current bonus to the Camo as a percent of your base Camo. Of course, ventilation, brotherhood, and food also add some Camo in the same proportions as they added view range, 2.5%, 2.5%, and 5% to the current view range respectively. Note that all these boosters add some percent from the current Camo value. Adding all these percent bonuses, we can almost double our Camo coefficient. Add paint to that and you can make your Camo over double the base value, not even counting the Camo net bonus if you carry one. So this was about how to boost your attributes permanently, but now we're going more into practice. Finally, something more than a school lecture. Everyone knows that bushes hide your tank. First of all, let's figure out how well they hide the tank. Remember that you must have all your 7 spotted markers hidden behind the bush. If one of the points is spotted, the whole tank is spotted. As we're using different tanks for the experiment here, please pay attention at the distance at which the tank is spotted while standing in bushes or not in bushes. The distance at which the tank can be spotted behind the bushes is roughly 2.5 times smaller than the distance of the tank being spotted in the open field. That is how much bonus the bushes can give. Now, if you are 15 meters or closer to the bush, your view range rays go through the bush as if it's not there. You can see through the bush without any problems. It doesn't affect your view range. But for everyone who is further than 15 meters from the bush, both enemies and allies, the bush will negate most part of their spotting rays, which you could see in the experiments. This picture of the bush is the thing that hides you. There are two ways to check the distance to the bush. If you are closer than 15 meters to the bush becomes partially transparent in sniper mode. If you can't see anything through a bush, then you are more than 15 meters from it. The second way is to install modification 15 meter circle, and after pressing some particular button, in my case it's F9, there is a 15 meter circle around my tank. This modification is allowed by wargaming. This mod will let you see the distance to the bush also in the arcade mode. If you want to spot someone while staying hidden, you have to be closer than 15 meters to the bush. Some new players take a position in the bushes but still die very quickly. How does this happen? The problem is that when you fire, not only your tank camo drops significantly, but also all bushes within 15 meters from you lose their hiding abilities and stop blocking enemies' spotting rays. In other words, if you fire while standing in the bush, it won't differ from firing while standing in the open field. What can you do about it? If you want to shoot and use bushes as a cover, you need to roll back 15 meters from the bush until it's not transparent, and only then you shoot. Then the bush will not lose its spotting ray blocking ability, keeping you hidden. Note that if you stay far from the bush, you won't be able to spot anyone. You need to get close to the bush, spot the enemy, roll back, shoot, roll into the bush again to keep spotting. Another important thing, the tree trunk does not block any spotting rays, but the tree leaves do, even if the tree is standing. You can make a bush for yourself by making a tree fall, but your enemies can see the fallen tree and fire their blind. So let's make a short summary of the most important things we have learned today. There are a lot of ways to improve both camo and view range significantly. Sticking out only the top of your turret or the beginning of the gun is enough to spot enemies. Some equipment can give large boosts to camo and view range, but only if you stand still. Bushes provide you cover, but if you fire from the bush, you will get spotted. Roll 15 meters back from the bush, shoot, roll back inside the bush to keep spotting enemies. Even though this doesn't seem like much information about the bush mechanics, there isn't much more to say. Knowing this will help you stay unspotted for much longer. Sometimes it can help you pull out the hopeless battle. This video ends the general game mechanics discussion in the Scout Master series. In the next videos we will be much more practical. We will talk about how to play passive scout effectively and how to play active scout, what equipment is recommended for you depending on the style of your play, what important things you should keep in mind. Thank you for watching. If you found this video useful and interesting, I would appreciate if you liked it. It helps to promote the video. Subscribe not to miss anything interesting. Share this video with your friends, share it with your clan mates. It really helps me a lot. Thank you and goodbye.